I never thought a simple visit to my best friend's house would change the way I saw desire, loyalty, and myself. But that night, something shifted. Something I couldn't take back. It started like any other Friday. I just finished another long week at work, spreadsheets, empty lunches, and nights that felt too quiet. I told myself I was fine being single. Independent. Strong. But loneliness has a way of crawling under your skin no matter how many times you tell it to stay away. When I walked into Lena and Jack's house, the air smelled like wine and cinnamon. Lena greeted me with her usual effortless grace, red lips, soft curls, and that teasing sparkle in her eyes that always made her seem like she knew something you didn't. "You look like you need this," she said, handing me a glass of red. "Rough week," I sighed, collapsing onto the couch. "Still no luck on the dating apps?" she asked. I rolled my eyes. If I have to fake laugh through one more dinner conversation about crypto or CrossFit, I might delete them all. She laughed, the sound low and easy. "You're too good for those guys anyway." "Tell that to my empty bed," I muttered. It slipped out before I could stop it. I saw her eyebrows arch, not judging, just curious. We sat in silence for a moment. Then she set her glass down and turned to me, her voice quieter. "You ever think maybe you're looking in the wrong places?" I snorted. "What's that supposed to mean?" She didn't answer. Just walked toward the window, her silhouette glowing against the city lights. When she turned back, her expression was unreadable. "What if I told you I had an idea?" "An idea?" "Something that might make you feel again," she said carefully. "Desired. Seen." My laugh came out shaky. "Unless your idea involves magically creating the perfect man, I doubt it." She smiled, slow, deliberate. "Not magic. Just honesty. And trust." Then she said it. "You should borrow my husband." I blinked, certain I'd misheard her. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," she said, swirling the wine in her glass like she hadn't just dropped a bomb. "Jack and I talked about it." I stared. "You what?" She shrugged, calm as ever. "You've been lonely. You need to feel wanted. He's very good at that." "Lena, that's insane." "Maybe. But it's also generous." She leaned closer. "You wouldn't be taking anything from me. I'd be giving it." I laughed, because I didn't know what else to do. "You're out of your mind." "Maybe," she said again, smiling. "But tell me something, are you disgusted, or just shocked?" Her words lingered like smoke. I opened my mouth to deny it, but nothing came out. Maybe it was the wine, maybe it was her confidence, but a part of me was curious. A dangerous part. "He knows?" I asked finally. "Of course," she said lightly. He didn't object. The world tilted a little. "You told him?" "Amham," she said. "He thought you might actually say yes." Something inside me fluttered, fear, excitement, both. "Lena, this is crazy." She tilted her head. "Then tell me to stop." But I didn't. Instead, she picked up her phone, tapped once, and said softly, "He's on his way." My pulse jumped. The air seemed heavier now, charged. "What do you mean, he's on his way?" "You've got 5 minutes to decide," she murmured, her gaze locked on mine. "After that, it's out of our hands." 5 minutes. My thoughts raced. What kind of friend even offers something like this? What kind of woman even considers it? But beneath the chaos, there was a quiet voice whispering that maybe I wanted to know what it felt like to stop being invisible. A knock echoed through the house. Lena smoothed her dress and glanced at me. "Ready?" I don't know." "You do," she said gently. "You just don't want to admit it." When she opened the door, Jack stood there tall, calm, collected. His presence filled the room without him saying a word. "This is her," Lena said, like it was the simplest thing in the world. He nodded once, eyes steady on me. "Nice to finally meet you." My throat went dry. "You knew?" He smiled faintly. "I did." There was no pressure in his gaze, no arrogance, just a quiet confidence that made my pulse stutter. Lena placed a hand on my shoulder. "If you're uncomfortable, say it now." But I didn't. Couldn't. Something in his look and in her calm assurance made the world blur around the edges. I exhaled slowly. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't have to, Lena whispered. Just feel. Her words lingered as the lights dimmed softly. I remember the warmth of Jack's hand, steady, grounding, and Lena's laugh, gentle and knowing. The rest faded into a rush of breath, heartbeats, and a dizzying sense of release. The world narrowed to the sound of rain against the window and the quiet certainty that I had just stepped across a line I could never uncross. When it was over, we sat in silence, the kind that hums, not the kind that hurts. Lena's hand brushed mine, her eyes warm. Now, she said, do you still feel invisible? I couldn't speak. All I could do was shake my head. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the curtains. The city moved outside like nothing had changed, but everything had. I left their house with trembling hands and a heart that couldn't decide if it was guilty or alive. Weeks later, Lena texted me 3 words, no regrets, right? I stared at the message for a long time before replying, maybe just one. Because the truth was, what started as an offer I never saw coming had become something far more dangerous, something that made me question not just what I wanted, but who I was when someone finally saw me.